It's after midnight in San Diego, and we're pre-flighting our Cherokee 6 on the ramp at Brown Field. We really want to get home. It's quiet, the ramp is dark and desolate. The airport is kind of eerie. My wife, daughter, and I just finished seeing my teenager's favorite band, and instead of grabbing a hotel, we're doing what general aviation makes possible. We're flying ourselves home back to LA. A lot of pilots will tell you night flying is no big deal, while others won't do it at all. So the question is night flying in a single-engine airplane actually safe? Tonight, we're flying home at 1:30 in the morning, and instead of just showing you the trip, we're going to use it to talk honestly about flying GA at night. The underestimated risks most pilots don't consider, how we can stack the deck in our favor, and how we can make the tough decisions about flying at night. Along the way, we'll look at the top 3 killers in general aviation night flying. All right, let's go flying.
Brown traffic, November 631 Bravo Whiskey is at first flight. We're going to taxi to runway 26 right via Gulf and then Charlie. Brown traffic.
I think pilots underestimate the challenges and risks of nighttime flying, starting with ground operations.
Can you just keep an eye out for me? I really need some help.
Okay. I don't know how you know how to drive these runways.
Following the yellow line, and the blue lights are taxiway edge lights.
Does blue mean that you're going the correct way?
It just means that's the edge of the taxiway.
Oh.
Even the flight instruments themselves take on an unfamiliar appearance, and it takes longer to process everything. I know I'll be slower to process and react, so my strategy is to reduce the workload as much as I can. In this case, it meant doing something I would normally not do in clear weather.
The weather is actually pretty clear here. I filed an IFR flight plan, and I'm going to pick up IFR on the ground here just because it's pretty complicated airspace there, and I know it pretty well, but I'd rather focus on actually flying the airplane than avoiding airspace. So if we could just get clear through the airspace, then we just really have to worry about the engine and flying the airplane. It'll just simplify things for this night flight.
Number 1 Bravo Whiskey clear.
After getting the clearance at a fat 10-minute void time, I was able to really take my time and program the avionics, review checklists, and make sure everything was 100% dialed in and ready.
We're going to do our radar vectors there. So, Brown traffic, November 631 Bravo Whiskey is taking runway 26 right for a straight out departure, Brown.
Taking off at night means accepting certain increased risks, and the statistics show it. While only 7% of GA accidents occur at night, these accidents account for 16% of all GA fatalities. This is especially alarming. There are far fewer night flights than day ones, so this statistic indicates that night accidents are far more likely to be fatal. Coming up, we'll take a look at what the top 3 causes are and specific actions we can take to avoid them.
Number 1 Bravo Whiskey, radar contact 1 mile west of Brown, climb maintain 6,000.
Climb maintain 6,000, 1 Bravo Whiskey. Kind of hoping that they would turn us sooner just because I don't want to be over the water, so we'll see what happens. But you know what, I'm going to give it a little more of a climb in case they're waiting for us to get to a certain altitude in order to be able to vector us.
November 1 Bravo Whiskey, turn right, heading 320, proceed direct oceanside VOR, resume on navigation.
Right, heading 320, direct oceanside, 1 Bravo Whiskey, thank you. Alright, so direct oceanside, enter, we're going to go autopilot, and we'll go up to 6,000. All right. Oh, man, look at this.
One of the risks, and one I think about every time I take off at night, is that if you have a problem, it's really hard to find a good emergency landing spot. During the day, you can easily spot a field or a golf course and distinguish between flatland and mountains. At night, you're often just faced with darkness. So you kind of pick a dark spot and hope for the best. Honestly, this is one of the things that freaks me out most about night flying. But what's the reality of a power plant issue leading to catastrophe at night? Statistically, power plant failures are the second leading cause of night GA accidents, but they don't seem to result in as many fatalities as my imagination would predict. In a 4-year period, out of 53 night accidents caused by power plant failures, only 6 were fatal and 47 non-fatal. That's nowhere near the fatality rate of the number 1 cause for night GA accidents, which we're going to talk about next. Before we get into that, I want to pause for just a second. This entire video is about using information to make better decisions. The sponsor of this video, Factor, has allowed me to extend this philosophy beyond aviation. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen dietitian approved meals straight to your doorstep, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. They offer different plans depending on your goals and what you like. Things like high protein, low carb, GLP-1 support, and calorie smart. I personally use the calorie smart plan because the meals have 550 calories or less. This gives me clear nutritional information and makes it easier to stay consistent without overthinking meals. Clear information, clean ingredients, and better decisions for wellness. My kids really look forward to when the box arrives because they love the high quality meals and the convenience when they're on their own. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code MONKEYFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code MONKEYFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off, plus free breakfast for 1 year. All right, let's get back to flying. Power plant failures are responsible for a lot of night GA accidents, but the fatality rate is actually pretty low. And there's another cause of night accidents that is even more prevalent and deadly.
If you're flying in the city, of course, you'll have city lights like we do pretty much the whole way up. So I guess VFR, we flew the other 2 times we went back from San Diego was VFR. But I consider most night flying IFR because a lot of times there's no horizon out in the country or sparse city, no moonlight, and you really need to have IFR skills.
And the data really backs this up. In fact, the number one killer of pilots who fly GA at night is loss of control in flight. At night, with few or no visual references on the horizon, it's easy to get spatial disorientation. I've talked about this sensation before, mostly as it relates to flying in the clouds, but spatial disorientation can happen easily flying at night, especially in more rural areas. It might feel like the airplane is level, turning, climbing, or descending when the opposite is true. And once spatial disorientation sets in, for a non-instrument rated pilot, it's especially hard to escape. That's why the nighttime accident cause graph looks like this, with loss of control as the number one cause. Losing control of the aircraft is the deadliest cause of nighttime airplane accidents if we're considering just the total numbers of accidents and fatalities.
So if I were a regulator or the FAA, probably I would do like other countries do where you have to have an instrument rating to fly at night. I think that's a thing some places. Somebody should fact check me.
That may be an unpopular opinion, but the statistics bear this out. Part 135 pilots must have an instrument rating to fly at night, and Part 135 night flights have a tiny fraction of the number of accidents and fatalities compared to Part 91 night flights. I believe some of this can be attributed to the instrument rating requirement. Before I consider any night flying, I like to stack the deck in my favor.
I actually did a bunch of practice approaches, made sure I was totally proficient in current for these trips at night, just so I was definitely sharp. And of course I did my night currency, but you really got to get trained up and be used to the night flying.
While loss of control in the air is the number one most fatal accident cause for night GA flying by total number of accidents, there's one other cause that is more likely to result in a fatality.
We're out of the San Diego Bravo. Yeah, I can see up there marine layer that's covering a little bit of the coast.
Oh wait, there's a bunch of clouds coming up, huh?
And this is actually the second biggest killer of nighttime GA pilots. When flying at night, especially out of the city, it can be incredibly difficult to see weather ahead. Unintentional flight into IMC at night almost always leads to a fatality. This happens when you're flying VFR and you find yourself in the clouds or low visibility, thick haze, or fog. It can creep up gradually, and at night, visual turnback options disappear fast. Once you've lost visual references, spatial disorientation grabs hold, and it's almost certainly inescapable. The stats show that 80% of the time an accident from unintentional flight into IMC at night is fatal. And that makes it the deadliest cause of all, going by percentage of fatalities. Because when you're not expecting to be in the clouds, you can get disoriented without being able to recover, even if you have instrument flying skills. That's one of the reasons why I'm very conservative on my night weather planning and fly IFR for most of my night flying. The third place killer is a particularly insidious one and takes us all the way to touchdown.
1 Bravo Whiskey, depart Santa Monica heading 310.
Okay, I'll depart Santa Monica heading 3101 Bravo Whiskey. We're going to get vectored off our route, and actually after Santa Monica I'm going to cancel IFR because the instrument approach procedures at Whiteman are not authorized at night, so we got to fly in their VFR.
This is where I really start thinking about the third top killer, and it's a quiet one, where everything feels normal right up until the moment it isn't. The pilot can be current, experienced, in control of the airplane, not in distress in any way, but due to the darkness, suffer visual illusion and misjudgment. Pilots have difficulty perceiving rising terrain, lose depth perception, or overly rely on sparse ground lighting. When this happens, it's called controlled flight into terrain, and it's disproportionately deadly. In essence, the pilot flies into something they didn't see. In GA, this is often wires or obstacles like power lines, towers, trees, or terrain ridgelines. Controlled flight into terrain is responsible for more accidents than unintentional flight into IMC, but just as many fatalities. That's why situational awareness is extremely important at night, and tools like synthetic vision and terrain and obstacle alerting can help avoid it. So knowing these risks, how do we decide whether or when to accept them?
Bravo, roger that. Cancellation of bypars and see resume navigation, maintain VFR.
Maintain VFR, we're going to go direct to Whiteman now on 1 Bravo Whiskey.
I'd like to be 100% honest with you. I tell my friends I absolutely love night flying.
So beautiful and calm right now. Like, it looks like the Peter Pan ride with the cars moving.
It's all beautiful sights and quiet radios.
I haven't heard one other airplane on this approach frequency.
It's just so peaceful, it truly may be my absolute favorite kind of flying.
Crazy to me that we can just like fly over the Hollywood sign like it's a casual Thursday, bro.
It's such a privilege, and also like that we have this freedom in the country.
But to say night flying isn't riskier than the already somewhat risky endeavor of GA flying would be dishonest, because it is. And that's why I try to only fly at night for special occasions. Accept the risk when the reward will be an incredible memory or amazing adventure, like taking my daughter to see her favorite band on her 18th birthday, or watching the sunset at the Grand Canyon and flying back to the Airbnb in Sedona at night. These are core memories for my kids. They've brought us closer together and will live on deep inside them the rest of their lives, helping us shape their worldview and who they become. And when these kinds of opportunities require night flying, I sometimes accept the risk. I want to make the most of every moment and experience, because there are no guarantees in life anyway. Everything we do carries some level of risk. With aviation, understanding the reality of these risks lets us make better decisions and take steps to manage them. With the right actions, I think it's almost possible to avoid loss of control, unintentional flight into IMC, and controlled flight into terrain at night. So, is night flying safe? Well, for me, it can be safe enough. How about you? I'd love to know what you think, so drop a comment and let me know. Thanks for coming along on the journey with me. So I've been using windy.com as a supplement to my official briefings for the last couple years, and it's really leveled up my flying adventures. With the visual weather tools on the Windy website, I'm able to get a better idea of some go, no-go decisions and plan my routes strategically farther ahead of time. Being able to see cloud layers, cloud tops, freezing levels, winds aloft, the Cape Index, and so much more useful information helps me visualize the weather in the days and hours leading up to the flight. But poking around Windy really isn't enough, which is why I put this detailed course together to help you harness the power of Windy by understanding exactly what you're looking at. I really recommend properly learning this tool for every pilot because it's a game changer for trip and flight planning. So feel free to check out my video course at levelupyourweather.com. This course is brand new, and the first 100 signups with code MONKEY100 will get 15% off.